Okay, so this video I'm gonna show it more about my new tattoo, and it's gonna be part 3. And it's not yet the part when you see the tattoo, when the tattoo is 100% healed. The tattoo is still not yet come to the process with the healing process. We maybe on some weeks or so on. So this is gonna just show apart how the tattoo looks right now, and obviously the color will be different when they have healed and so on. So you see here, and the reason why I do this again is because I want to explain more clearly about the coloring and this kind of thing. So you see up here, it may be hard to see, you see that this one is called magenta. It's one version magenta, it's like raspberry. Under here is a mixture of turquoise blue and graffiti green. So you have graffiti green, turquoise blue, like raspberry, one version magenta, and you have black. These colors here. Yeah. So this tattoo is not yet healed. Will maybe healed in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and when the scabs have fall off, and then we see the result of the color, what will be. And I think the magenta will be much more like pinkish kind of coloring on dark skin tones. And for you, it's very interesting that for example, like this one, you see this is extremely hard to see, but you get a much more like pinkish kind of style coloring comparable when the tattoo is new, comparable when the tattoo is healed on the skin. So you get differences on the nuance of the color. And the same for turquoise blue is a bit similar from from the start to the end. It's it's little differences, like a little lighter, not much. The thing that makes a huge difference is the magenta. The magenta is almost like a kind of a purple, and turn to more like a pink when it's healed on the skin. Especially if you have darker skin tone, obviously. So that is the different result with the two things, and it works well. I think turquoise blue and magenta is a very nice colors because they looks very good. And I think if you have a darker version of magenta, you're gonna get much more like a purplish result than if you have a middle ground like electric raspberries. Then you get more like a pinkish kind of to it, more like pinkish, more pinkish. So obviously I do not know exactly what will happen if you have a darker version magenta, because I have not yet tried that version. And the other thing I'm very interesting to know is to see when the tattoo have healed is obviously what will be when with the combination of turquoise blue and green together. Obviously, because turquoise blue is green, and blue and white and yellow, and we have turquoise blue as we take turquoise blue and graphic green, and we mix it to make one color. So we're gonna see how huge differences that will be when the tattoo have healed on the skin and this kind of thing. So that is also very interesting, because this is the first time ever I do this combination on my skin. So I absolutely do not know what will happen. So it can be interesting to see if that's going to turn out well, or and so on the skin and so on. So I think I think this is important to understand that, like I probably say that lots of time, but I think it's very important to understand when. Simple like this. When you have you make different colors, different colors will have different results. Obviously, what kind of volume the color have, if the color is dark, medium, and light, obviously, and what kind of skin tone you have, if you're dark, medium, so on. And where you, on the place of the body you put that tattoo is always going to be a different result. And where, what time is it, in the winter, in the summer, in the autumn, and so on. That's also going to make a difference. It's where you are in the world, how strong is the sunlight, and so on. So that's also going to have effect on the tattoo. So I think, obviously, this what I say right now is just what I think works for me, and maybe gonna work for you. I don't say that will be. I don't say that 100% is that case. I don't do. I just say that maybe. The thing I can say first of all, the colors that I have tried that do not work as well was obviously yellow. I do not know exactly what kind of yellow, because we try to get yellow, so I cannot say 100% what kind of yellow. Yellow for me turned almost like a peanut butter kind of coloring. Peanut butter. And light purple was not good at all. Dark purple, not as well. So this is the 3 color I have tried that I probably, that is color I never want to use again, because that was not a good result of these 3 colors. The color works really well that I know, because of the color that I have healed on my skin well was lime green, dark lime green, dark turquoise blue, tropical teal, that is a light version of turquoise blue. Red, obviously red, green, turquoise blue, and magenta, middle magenta, electric raspberry. I don't know exactly where I should place that, but it's somewhere in the middle of light and dark. It's not the lightest, but not the darkest. It's somewhere in the middle of these two. It's electric raspberry. And the color I still not have tried yet, so I cannot say anything about it, but this some color I want to try is red violet. So it will be interesting to see how big differences red violet will be on my skin from when it's new comparable when it's healed, and so on. And so, wait a second. In comparison and this kind of thing. So when you get like example, like when you get electric raspberry looks like almost like looks like a blueberry kind of purplish blue kind of color. When it's new on the skin, obviously there's going to be different nuance with how dark and how light the skin obviously is. But especially if you look on my skin, it looked like this. So you get like almost like blue, like a blueberry color, like the thing that you have in the blueberry, and you have some white in it. Like this kind of combination will look like this before they've healed, and when they heal, from like more like a raspberry color. That is the best description I can give. This, like if you see a raspberry, it's similar to that in some sense, like raspberry kind of color. So it's more like this is how the color will be when the magenta have healed on the skin, and this is how the color look before they have healed. So it is darker, so it turn a bit lighter on the skin. So obviously, because it's the middle, it's gonna it's go well when it's gonna be it's going well when they turn much lighter. Because if you have too light of a color, then it's gonna be, if you have too light from the start, it's not going to end well, not going to be a good result, because then the heel, when the heel is going to be more lighter and depthful, and then you're going to have a hard time to see. So you always have to have a darker color than your skin, so make it so when it have to have healed, they're going to be lighter on the skin, but not light, still strong enough to be visible on the skin. So that is it's very hard to say what color is from the start is that kind of color before you. I think before you try, you can look at some like things, like you can ask some tattoo artists. Obviously, you can look around on the internet, some recommendation. One person I think is very good is a YouTube video. You just write down color tattoos for people with dark skin tone, and the picture on that video is a flower. I don't remember the name of that video, but it's a picture on the thumbnail is a flower, and then that person explained very well what kind of color works well on people with darker skin tones. And many things what that person says is very true, because I tried them. Turquoise blue works amazing. Magenta works amazing. So this is the color that I know works well. The only color that is still that is recommended that I have still not try is red violet. That is a compromise for purple. It's exactly as turquoise blue is a compromise for instead for blue. But maybe if I don't know, I have not tried that, so I cannot say if that work or not work. That you make cyan. Cyan is blue and green together. It's almost like so you have blue and green, but I don't know yet that if blue is a good color. I just know that turquoise blue work, but turquoise blue is blue, but with green in it. Obviously, how much blue you have, and obviously is how dark it will be, and how much green is if you want turquoise green, and this kind of thing. So I don't know yet if cyan is a good color on. Will heal well on people with different dark or lighter middle, like different dark skin tones. Yeah, and this kind of thing, because as I said before, some color will heal much better than other colors on different skin tones, and it's very hard to say exactly, as I said before, what color from the start, because for example I know purple, like example the color was really bad was was light purple. I tried light purple, and light purple it was the same. It was in the winter, like right now in the winter, but it was 2 years before, and was just I think 1 or 2 days with that purple, and that was totally vanishing, and it was not a strong color at all. I don't know the reason why. I don't know why. Example, some color actually very strong on every skin tone is red, and this I don't know why red works so well on every skin tone. It's so powerful. It's a strong color, and so that is a mysterium. For example, if you have obviously you have different versions of orange, and I think orange is a tricky color, because I think the beautiful orange is the orange that looks more like a carrot orange, you have like the color you see on the carrot. But if you put that color on a person with like my skin tone, like a middle brownish dark, it's not gonna look as well. It's gonna be a very strange combination. So I think if I'm gonna have orange, I think I want to have like a very strong red kind of orange, like a Tangrid. That is a very strong red orange. I think it's much more like that. So I think for me, I think the safeguard is to have a color that is very, very strong and very vibrant, so obviously turquoise blue have white ink in them, obviously, but the color that have very little white ink is probably color that will heal the best than color with lots of white ink. For example, if you have dark turquoise blue and you have tropical teal. Tropical teal is on the tropical teal works on me, but is a color that is very close to be not as I don't really know how to explain it. It's a color that I don't gonna try again. I like the color, but because it's so risky in that sense, because you have to be very it's more likely that color will not heal well comparable to dark turquoise blue. So for me, I think turquoise blue is a safer card to use in that sense, because they're gonna heal much better on the skin than tropical teal, because this tropical teal have much more yellow and white ink in the mix of that color. So that it will color is simple to say. Color with more white ink is color that is not as do not work as well for people with brown and dark skin tones, comparable to color with lesser white ink in them works better. For they are they are more stronger and so on. Because you have almost like a three layers. You have first of all you have your own skin. Then you have the color you want, like turquoise blue. Example, turquoise blue and electric raspberry, and obviously you have to take the right magenta for the right skin tone. So obviously, if my skin tone, I can have electric raspberry that works well, and that is not a problem on my skin. But I probably cannot have light magenta, because light magenta will be too light and gonna heal when that color heal on the skin, gonna be healed from the start is already too light. It's gonna be very very hard to see that color when it's healed on the skin. So you have to find a balance that it works well on the skin, so they know that it's so you know what that color will heal well on the skin, and don't be so if the color is too light from the start, that then the heal then gonna be much lighter, and so on. So yeah, you always, especially if you have my darker skin or brown skin tone, you always have to be careful what color you choose, because some color works better than other color on people with brown and dark skin tone. So that is the thing that. So you have to notice that, and obviously the color, as I said before, is the color I already said. That the only color I said is the color I know works, because I have tried them, and obviously it's different to person. But obviously it's like, for example, I don't know how big different it will be with, for example, red violet comparable to normal violet, like purple comparable to red purple. If that's gonna be more similar to like more darker version of purple, but still in the middle of the lighter, and this kind of thing. So I think the thing I'm most interested about right now is to see what will happen with the part of the tattoo that have the mixture of dark turquoise blue and graffiti green, and I'm wondering if the green will be more dominant than the other three colors in the mixture, obviously because turquoise blue is green, blue, yellow and white. So I'm wondering what of them will be much, because all of the mixture of the coloring will have also results. So will the green crock with the green, or will the green mix with the yellow in the mixture? What will stand up more? So it's going to be very very interesting to see that end result of that this thing, because I already know how turquoise blue will be when it's healed, and already know. So this is just the new thing is the mixture, and obviously in this kind of things, of the mixture of the two and how they will build up. So yeah, we have to see. Maybe in 3 weeks or in 4 weeks we will see the end result. Will it be good or will it be bad? I do not know. Probably will be okay. So probably, yeah, that is everything I really want to say about this kind of topic. And yeah.